Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up Podcast. Gobble, gobble. It is a holiday episode. Thanksgiving right around the table for us U.S. folks. So we're going to do everything. One episode today on Tuesday. If you're watching or listening, you already know where the show's at. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Like, rate, subscribe, review, share if you haven't already. It helps grow the channel as we try to grow the Drafted Up community. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up Podcast. How you doing on this miserable Tuesday night?
Dude, for the first time in the history of my life, I literally locked my car keys in my car today. Absolutely miserable day for that because it's been freaking pouring all day. Luckily, I have a buddy who was off all week, so he was able to run me my spare keys, so it wasn't too much of a hassle, but goodness gracious, dude, what a day to lock keys in a car. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but
you don't got one of
rough day.
You don't have the sensor that'll acknowledge?
No.
No?
No.
I didn't know what year your car was.
It's like a 2016, 2017.
Yeah, so is mine, and mine has the button. My car keys are in
there. Take it up with Jeep, bro.
Frickin' American cars. I mean, my car's a piece of shit too, but yeah. So we're not doing the typical Tuesday show, Players of the Week. We're going to do the Thursday episode today, so we're going to jam pack it. It is all 16 games, no bye weeks this week. So we got 3 games on Thursday. We got a game on Friday. And then the rest of the slate Sunday and Monday.
A lot of games, dude, but it's Thanksgiving week. They always do this. There's no bye weeks usually this week. So 16 games, all 32 teams. We're going to get our starts of the week going pretty soon. So
yeah,
jam-packed episode, dude.
Because of that, no bye weeks this week. There's bye weeks next week, which are the final weeks for fantasy football. Regular season, You're going to be missing guys like Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, the 49ers crew, as well as
my team.
Drake May and the Patriots crew. So no Travion Henderson. I don't know who else has a bye. I know those two off the top of the dome. All right. You ready to dive right into this? Plays of the week?
Yeah. Who won last week? Or are you getting into that?
Yeah, I'll get into that. Yeah. This is our W Energy Plays of the Week. One of us is looking to eat that dub. My squad came out on top last week. No thanks to Alvin Kamara, who got hurt and only got me 3.5 points. But Hunter Henry and my Cardinal stack of Michael Wilson and Jacoby Brissett carried me to a victory, though. Jameis Winston, your sub-in for Jackson Dart, was the MVP of your squad. No Dart for you, so you pivoted to Jameis Winston, and he was your best play for sure.
Yeah, he had that receiving touchdown, that deep passing touchdown, Lawando. He had a crazy game right off the rip, too, so Winston was a nice sub-in for Dart. Obviously, I just get Dart's replacement, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Dallas Goedert and Stephon Diggs really brought you down.
Yeah, it was a rough week. I was hoping Winston was able to pull it off himself.
Yeah, almost. He was the highest scoring player amongst all of our picks. But these are W Energy Plays of the Week. W Energy, good, clean energy. Be better. Eat that dub. One of us is looking to do it. I improved to 6-5-1. Nick, who's your start of the week at quarterback?
Usually I'm very well prepared with guys' stats, what they've done the last weeks or what they've done the last couple weeks and yada, yada, yada. Well, my QB start of the week is a guy that hasn't played since week 2. So he has consecutively scored 0 points every week since then. It's Joe Burrow versus the Baltimore Ravens this week. In Baltimore, great matchup. Jamar Chase is back after his 1-game suspension. I doubt T. Higgins is out there. He's in concussion protocol.
No out. He's been ruled out.
Yeah, so I don't think Higgins is going to be out there. Exactly. So Yoshivas with Burrow, with Chase Brown as well. I think the Bengals are going to cook offensively versus Baltimore, whose defense has slacked all season. Give me the returning Joe Burrow this week versus Baltimore. I think he's in line with Chase. I think both those guys are going to be top 5 at their position this week.
Yeah, I love it. I love Joe Burrow. Yeah, we're going to have Thursday guys on here for like the first time ever. Not me, though.
Yep.
All my guys play on Sunday.
Not me, he said.
I got a road crew, all 4 of my guys on the road this week, and I'll start it off with probably my most selected play of the week at quarterback, and that's our guy. God bless. Bo Nix as Denver travels to Washington to take on the Commanders. Juicy matchup for the Broncos here. We're going to be talking a lot about them in this segment, I foreshadow. But Denver coming off the bye, getting healthier, getting some rest. This is a game against a Washington Commanders defense that is just falling apart. No one can stay healthy on this team, and it has just been a bad luck season for the Commanders, and I expect Bo Nix and Denver coming off that hot win 2 weeks ago against Kansas City, getting the week off this week and coming off just firing, as they're currently the best team in football record-wise. So Denver Broncos, I love the matchup for Bo Nix. I think you can just lock him back in your lineup after the week off here against a very bad Washington Commanders defense.
Yeah, well, I might as well keep rolling with that because I half-assed looked at your start of the week. Obviously, I tried to steal 2 of them because I didn't even see your text message come in this morning. I sent this guy, TJ, my starts of the week, and he goes, "You're stealing 2 of my guys." And I'm like, I didn't even see you text me. That's my bad. I was trying to get the jump on you, and you somehow got the jump on me on a Tuesday. My running back for this week is RJ Harvey. We're just picking a ton of Denver guys. Like you said, the Commanders' defense has been struggling in all aspects, passing, running, receiving, tight ends. So all the Broncos are pretty much full go this week. RJ Harvey's coming off the bye week, and the week before that, he played 61% of snaps. That's easily almost doubled the amount of snaps he's played prior to that. He's getting the workload with J.K. Dobbins out. No, I was going to say with J.K. Dobbins out, it's RJ Harvey's backfield. He was on the field, like I said, 61% of snaps. Saw 11 carries for 30 yards. That's not a great average, but he's also heavily involved in the receiving work. He saw 3 targets. He brought in 2. The last 3 or 4 weeks, he's seen a good amount of targets, and it's gone pretty well in the receiving game for him. So as long as he's able to break off a run or 2 versus this weak Washington defense, I really think RJ Harvey is in line. Coming off the bye, Sean Payton is going to get this guy involved. He loved RJ Harvey coming out. There's a reason he drafted him so early, and I was right there with him. I loved RJ Harvey coming out of UCF. So he's my dude this week versus the Commanders. I honestly think this is like his best matchup he has left all season. So this is kind of like a make or break kind of game. So if he goes off, you can play him versus these rough defenses he has coming up. But if he doesn't go off versus Washington, it's going to be really hard to start him going forward after that.
Yeah, his first real start was against the Chiefs, and it's tough to run on them, so you kind of get that slack. But history shows rookies in general, after the bye week, they see an uptick in playing time as they get more accustomed to the NFL, and you would expect that with RJ Harvey with J.K. Dobbins out. So I also considered him, but I didn't want too many Broncos in my lineup. At running back, I'm going with Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They go on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans. Etienne, the last 3 weeks, has been a top 10 running back in full PPR. Even with Bashal Tutin still decently involved, Etienne has been efficient. This offense is running through him, as Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't been out there the last few weeks. Travis Hunter's been hurt as well. So the passing game has been a struggle with inconsistency, but Etienne has been the rock for this offense. And on the Tennessee Titans, you can absolutely rip them apart. Kenneth Walker last week was like 11 for 71. He averaged over 6 yards a carry. So those juice running backs, and that's where Etienne kind of falls in here. I even think Bashal Tutin's kind of in play for like a double flex, but I think Etienne continues his trend as a top 10 play, and you can just keep locking him in your lineup against Tennessee, who played good against Seattle. I'll give him that. So competitive games might be better, and it'll lean to Etienne being more involved, being on the field more in non-blowout situations. So I think you just keep riding that ride with Travis Etienne here for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I love that a lot.
Hey, it was one of the guys you tried to steal.
Yeah, he was one of the guys I was like, I'll take Etienne right from you. I'll keep it going with wide receivers. Wide receiver this week is Ladd McConkey, Chargers versus Vegas, division game. That's what you love on paper, and you could easily rip up Vegas' secondary. Look what Dallas did a couple weeks ago. Pickens went off. CD went off. Like, those guys had mondo games. And Ladd McConkey, I usually don't follow every other games, but he's had 100 yards in almost every other game for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Week 6, he had 100 yards. Week 8, he had 88 yards. And in week 10, he had 107. So theoretically, I get he's coming off like a rough game the last time he played, and then he had the bye week last week. But I really think Ladd McConkey is in line to have a Mondo game versus the Raiders. It's in LA, so it's a home game for the Chargers. The weather's going to be good regardless. So I on paper, I think all the Chargers are going to cook. So maybe not huge and like Keenan Allen, but like Gadsden, Herbert, Ladd McConkey, whatever running back they're fielding, because I know Kamani Vidal was a little bit banged up last time he was on the field. But I really think Ladd is in line. He has been really good since pretty much week 6 off and on. Last week is his really bad dud. Well, 2 weeks ago versus Jacksonville. But he was on the field for only 63% of snaps, so it was a little bit of a downtick. He really wasn't involved as much as he needed to because Jacksonville was blowing them out of the water, dude. And I don't see Vegas blowing the Chargers out of the water, so I think Ladd's going to be heavily involved. Nice bounce back game for Ladd McConkey this week. You could definitely play him with confidence.
Yeah, the Chargers been sitting for 2 weeks with that sour taste in their mouth of that
For
performance
sure.
against the Charger or against the Jaguars. So you know they're going to come out spit and fire against division rival who is not very good. Back to Denver. Cortland Sutton, Denver Broncos wide receiver against the Washington Commanders. It's been a little bumpy here for Cortland Sutton the last few weeks. 4 for 59 against Kansas City, 3 for 24 against Vegas, 1 for 30, and thankfully a touchdown against Houston. Those are his last 3 games. His target share sort of becoming split with Troy Franklin being more involved, but he's still the alpha here, and I think we are going to step into reclaiming that with the week off, and Washington's secondary is blown up, and this is the time for a big-bodied, big-play wide receiver to step up and show out. So I like Sutton here against Washington. We've already talked about how bad this defense is, and it's bad at all 3 levels. It's bad on line, bad in the middle, bad in the secondary, on the backside. So Denver is, you play your Broncos, and I like Cortland Sutton. I want to give you guys the confidence to, lock him back in your lineup. It's been a little touch and go here the last few weeks. You can't play him with confidence. I think this week you can lock him in. Yeah, I think he's a top 24 play at wide receiver this week.
I hope so. I don't know, man. I'd rather think I'd play Troy Franklin over Sutton, but we'll see for sure. Tight end start of the week is, oh man, this one's risky, and you did actually let me keep him because I did try to steal him from you, and you're like, you know what, you can take him, and I think you might have made the right move, but
wait till you hear my tight end, brother.
I'm going pure chasing the touchdown upside. I'm going Mark Andrews versus Cincinnati Bengals. We mentioned last week the Cincinnati Bengals are on pace for a historically bad stopping the tight end season. They've allowed more yards and catches and receptions, all of that good fantasy stats. They've allowed the most ever so far to any tight ends in the NFL history. So theoretically, Lamar's kind of getting healthier. Mark Andrews should be in line for at least a touchdown. Hopefully he gets 3 or 4 catches and one of them's a touchdown, man. And we seen that run he had 2 weeks ago. That was a crazy run versus Cleveland. He looked so quick, faster than he's looked probably in the last 3 years. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's been pretty rough since the bye week. The most catches he's had since week 7 is 3, which is not a lot. So you're purely chasing the touchdown, and versus the worst defense in football stopping the tight ends. Give me the guy that scores a bunch of touchdowns, and it's Mark Andrews. So I'm just willing to let it rock.
Chase that dragon, brother. I did it last week with Hunter Henry, and we said he was due for that big, Hunter Henry tight end 1.
Yep.
He did it. He was tight end 1, 7 for 115 and a touchdown. Yep. Mark Andrews is due for that big Mark Andrews tight end 1 week. So I love to just continue chasing that dragon against the Cincinnati Bengals. You don't know my tight end. I did not tell you.
I do not.
Who it was going to be.
You didn't say who it is.
This might be the craziest play of the week.
Evan Ingram, Denver.
In plays of the week. It is not. It is New Orleans Saints tight end Taysom Hill against the Miami Dolphins. Taysom Hill is not a tight end, so he's a gadget dude. But Miami cannot stop the run. The Saints are probably without without Alvin Kamara. They're definitely without Evan Ingram. But
for sure,
no Alvin
he will
Kamara
not be out
probably
there
this week. So I love the upside. Devin Neal probably gives this team as the backup running back, but Taysom Hill is still involved in this team, still involved in this offense. He was out there a good amount last week. He led the team in carries. He had 10 carries. It was inefficient. It was for 17 yards. But if you are a high underdog and you just need a big upside play, Taysom Hill hasn't had that Taysom Hill game where you're just like, no one starts him, and then Taysom Hill has 3 touchdowns out of the blue. And you're like, why is this guy stealing touchdowns? With no Alvin Kamara, it wouldn't surprise me if he's the goal line back here against a Miami team that can't stop the run. They're not great against the pass either. This defense is beatable. And New Orleans, they, like I said, they don't have Alvin Kamara. They don't have their big playmaker in the backfield, and he hasn't been great this year anyways. But it leaves open an opportunity for a Taysom Hill moment, and I'm going to chase the upside of Taysom Hill this week on a week where all tight ends are eligible to play. But if you have like a Dallas Goedert who's been a little touch and go, or Jake Ferguson who's losing out on targets to CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson, or CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, this is your opportunity here to just chase like a big upside. You're the big underdog. I think Taysom Hill is in play for that big Taysom Hill game with no Alvin Kamara out there and question marks at the running back position. So I'm going to go with it. Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints, tight end at Miami on Sunday.
Tight end. Yeah. No, I like that a lot. He's going to be used in the receiving game for sure and in the running game, but it's a hell of a risky play, but it could easily have high upside. So I do like that a lot.
Yep. There we go. Those are our W Energy plays of the week. W Energy, good, clean energy. They got a ton of flavors. They do collabs with animes and other content creators. So check them out at w.gg. That's DUBBY, or look them up on your app store. You can download their app. You can order from there. Use the code DRAFTEDUP through the end of this month, November. So you got 5 more days as of this recording. You get 30% off your order with the code Draft It Up. Be better. Eat that dub with W Energy. All right, you ready to roll? Turkey Day games.
3 of them, baby.
Yeah. And all 3, the potential to be pretty good football games. That's what I like to see, because usually Thanksgiving games, they always throw you a dud. And you're just why? Kicking it off. The Green Bay Packers travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. Division matchup here. The Lions 2.5-point home favorites. Over-under set at 48.5. Lions coming off the overtime victory against your New York Giants. The Packers are coming off a slaughtering of my Minnesota Vikings. Jahmyr Gibbs is incredible. We would have talked a bunch about him if this was our normal Tuesday episode. You keep riding with him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're keeping him in your lineup. You chasing the Jameson Williams ride still.
Last week was rough, man. He goosed. The week after I said this guy's going to win people championships, and I went out and traded for him in our home league, and he goosed. He still saw 3 targets, so I'm still willing to flex him for sure because what he's been doing before last week. I'm cool with it. He's a flex guy in my eyes.
Yeah, this was the classic Detroit game where it was Amon-Ra and Gibbs, and that's all they needed. They were the only pieces of the offense that had any sort of relevance there. But I think Williams is a fine flex play. That's it on Detroit, though. I'm not streaming Goff. Like, I'd rather stream Jordan Love on the other side if I play one of these quarterbacks, because it's a lot harder to run on Detroit, so they're going to have to pass to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd have Goff like outside the top 15 at quarterback this week.
Yeah, I would have him like 16 through 20-ish range. But no, I agree. It's pretty much Gibbs and Amon-Ra that I'm for sure starting. If I can pivot out of Williams with a better guy, since all 32 teams are going, I would. But without Sam Laporta out there, I'm cool playing Jameson Williams the rest of the season because of no Sam Laporta.
Yeah. It's been confirmed he's going to miss the rest of the regular season.
Yep.
So he will have no relevance going forward for fantasy football. Green Bay side. I think Jordan Love's a fine play. I think he's going to teeter around the QB1 range. Josh Jacobs, if he's out there, it's a tough matchup, but
You kind of have to play him if he plays.
Yeah, you kind of can't just throw Josh Jacobs on your bench. Would you pick up Devin Neal and start him over Josh Jacobs?
No.
Yeah,
if Josh Jacobs plays, I'd play Josh Jacobs over Evan Neal. Now,
sure. If Josh Jacobs isn't out there, are you rolling with Emmanuel Wilson? He ripped up Minnesota. He had a decent amount of touchdowns.
A decent amount of touchdowns is a crazy stat. Yeah, he had 28 for 107 and 2 touchdowns. Not really used in the receiving game, but he did have 2 for 18. So it's a rough matchup versus Detroit, but if Josh Jacobs isn't out there, I would play Wilson in a flex spot for sure. Mm-hmm. So whatever running back suits up for Green Bay as the starter, I'm probably playing.
I agree.
There's even a chance I'd play Wilson if Jacobs plays, because if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. It's a short week, obviously. He missed last week, but he hasn't practiced in full. He's been limited. He's not going to get a full practice in tomorrow either. I can guarantee that. So
yeah. It's going to be another game time decision situation for Jacobs. Are there any other players on the Packers you're messing around with? Are you taking the shot on Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs? Jaden Reed's practicing, but he's probably not going to be out there, so keep that in mind. If your waivers, if Jaden Reed's out there, I think he's worth picking up. This offense still needs him, and I think he could be a sneaky pickup here to end the year, pushing into the playoffs, as Green Bay doesn't really have that alpha at wide receiver.
Christian Watson would be the guy I would play out of that room. Last week he saw 7 targets, brought in 5 for 49. The week before that he saw 5 targets, brought in 4 for 46 and 2 touchdowns. So as long he's still seeing the same targets that he saw the last 2 weeks, which you love to see, and he's a guy that can give you a touchdown out of the blue anywhere. Mm-hmm. So he's very similar to Jameson Williams.
Yeah. All right. That one's easy. I'm going Detroit here. I think the Lions continue to roll on. I think they beat the Packers at home.
Yep. I'm also going to pick Detroit.
All right. There was no one else you wanted to talk about in that game, right?
Nope.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll chime in if there is. You're good.
Kansas City Chiefs, they travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Both these teams coming off big wins on Sunday. Chiefs in overtime against the Colts, and the Cowboys coming back 21 down against the Eagles to beat Philly. Chiefs are 3.5-point road favorites. The over-under set at 52.5. You play your Cowboys. George Pickens. I keep wanting to call George Pickens Jake Ferguson. It's the second time I've done it. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. You're locking them in. I don't know what's going on with CeeDee Lamb in these drops. He should have had like 8 catches on Sunday, and he only ended up with like 5. But George Pickens, second in the league in receiving yards. You just keep rolling with him. Javonte Williams is a lower upside play this week. Really tough to run on the Chiefs, but again, kind of hard to move Javonte out of your lineup. But he kind of falls into the same range I've had him in recently, low end RB2, high end flex play. And then
yeah, for sure, because like the back-to-back games, 22 carries for 93, 20 carries for 87. He's just not being used in the receiving game like he was prior to week 7. He was seeing 5 to 6 targets every single game, and he was bringing in a good amount of them. So he was really involved in the receiving game. CeeDee Lamb came back, George Pickens took off, Jake Ferguson still really involved. So you can still start Javonte. It's just not with like as much confidence as it was prior.
Yeah. How do you feel about Jake Ferguson? It's been a little just okay since
it's been fine.
CeeDee Lamb came back.
But it's hard to bench a guy that's like this involved in Dallas's offense. Last week, 6 targets, 5 catches, 60 yards. The week before that, he saw 5 targets. The week before that, 7 targets. So like, he's still seen a really good share of the Dak Prescott's targets, but without the touchdown, he doesn't have huge games. So hopefully he gets in the end zone on Thanksgiving, because it's been a little bit of a rough stretch. I think he only has 1 touchdown in the last 5 weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dak Prescott, final name here for the Cowboys.
Play. I'm cool with it.
Him or Jordan Love?
Dak. He's on the heels of 2 QB3 finishes, 6 touchdowns in 2 weeks. I'm cool with Dak.
Yeah, I agree with this. With this offense, fully healthy, Dak Prescott is pretty much just a lock and go in my eyes. Kansas City side, it is really just the same 3 names that we bring up every week. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Travis Kelce, it's Rashee Rice.
Disagree. I think Xavier Worthy is in line for a huge week for Dallas's defense.
Whoa. Okay.
I almost made Xavier Worthy my start of the week. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay. Spicy. I just don't have any confidence in Xavier. I know he had like 8 targets last week, but yeah, like I don't know. I just not feeling him involved, and now like Kareem Hunt has been playable as the running back here in this offense, but Pacheco's going to be back. Who knows how much involvement he's going to have right off the jump. So, like, I guess Kareem Hunt kind of is still a low flex play, double flex especially. I think he's more valuable there, but single flex, you could probably pivot around him. Like, but I would play Kareem Hunt. Like, if I was in the boat and had to play Kareem Hunt or Xavier Worthy in my flex spot, I would lean Kareem Hunt. I just don't trust the consistency of Xavier Worthy in this offense.
Yeah, see, I would lean Worthy over Hunt. Like you said, 8 targets last week. He brought in 4 for 59. The week before that, 5 targets. The week before that, 7 targets. The week before that, 7 targets. So he's being really involved, and now he's playing a defense that cannot stop a deep pass. So I really think Xavier Worthy is in line for, I don't want to do a stat line, but something like 5-6 catches, 80, 90 yards, and maybe 1 deep touchdown. I think Worthy's like a really good play this week.
Okay. Not in the same, but I think he's too touchdown dependent for me to bank on. Travis Kelce, and you're good with, obviously you're good with Rashee Rice, who was questionable on the practice report. Yeah, the practice report, but he's going to be out there.
Worthy was also questionable, but he logged the full practice today, so he's going to go full practice tomorrow, I would assume, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah, he usually shows up day 1 of practice on the questionable. It seems to be a weekly trend for him, which not surprising with the banged up shoulder. But anyone else in this game?
No, I don't think so, but I think it's going to go way over the over. What did you say, 53, 52 and a half, something like that? I'm looking at 30 points for each team here.
Okay. I actually don't. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like 28-24. So slightly under. That's 52.
That is true. Yeah, no, I would go over. I think Kansas City could have 35, 40 points alone.
Okay. I am going to pick the Chiefs. I think they're going to get rolling here, improve to 7-5.
I think Kansas City's on now their roll to make the playoffs. After that huge win last week versus Indianapolis, they pulled it out, dude. It wasn't looking good early on. They needed that win big, and now I expect them to go into Dallas and just keep rolling.
And Dallas was in the same boat. They needed to win at Philadelphia, and theirs was more usually those play in divisional games and just like that high energy, big comeback like that. That kind of sucks the life out of you. That almost leads to a dud. But we'll see if Dallas can continue that momentum going forward. Did you see the Schottenheimer hype up in the locker room after the game?
I did not.
He had his visor backwards, and he was just like, did we win the first quarter? And the team's like, no. Did we win the second quarter? No. Did we win the third quarter? No. He's like, did we spot them 21 points? And they're like, yeah. He's like, but what about the fourth quarter? It was so corny, but the team was eating it up. So maybe Dallas does turn around here, but I like the little shot, like, did we spot them 21 points?
Hey man, it doesn't matter where you are during the game. What all that matters is where you are at when the clock hits 0-0.
That's
so
true.
The team on the field wanted them more, man.
Yeah. All right, we're both going Kansas City though. Cincinnati, the Bengals, another division matchup here. They travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The first place Baltimore Ravens. They've won 5 straight games. Baltimore, 7-point home favorites. Over-unders at 51.5. Man, these Thursday Thanksgiving games, they're juicy. I love them all.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Baltimore, we'll start with them. Lamar Jackson, it's been a tough go here the last 2 weeks. He's still a little banged up, but I almost considered making him my play of the week at quarterback just because of how bad he's been the last 2 weeks. But just keep rolling with Lamar here against Cincinnati. Historically bad defense. Keep chugging along there. Though they played much better than they had been when they played New England last week. Mark Andrews, I think you can spot start at tight end. Obviously, chase the defense. We saw what Hunter Henry did here. Zay Flowers hasn't had like a top 15 play since like week 2. He's just kind of teetering around like a low end wide receiver 2 flex guy. You keep rolling with Zay Flowers.
Versus the defense, yeah, and it's been since week 1. Like week 1, he was wide receiver 1 on the week.
Was it week 1? I thought it was week 2 that we had the big week.
And since then, his highest finish has been wide receiver 23. So barely a wide receiver 2. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. I think this week he scores.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Zay Flowers touchdown guarantee.
It's just Cincinnati's defense, dude. Like I don't know. Anything could happen.
That's right.
Literally, I could step on the field and possibly score a touchdown for Cincinnati's defense. But to be fair, like shout out Cincinnati's defense. They have been playing a lot better than anyone could ever have imagined the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've actually been playing like NFL caliber defense. Like they've been playing okay. So shout out to them. Just keep putting in the work, man.
They had a pick 6 against Drake May. They did a good job holding him in check. I mean, the Patriots offense still got on the board a decent amount, but the Bengals are playing competitive games, but they're not winning, which probably detrimental to their defense. We'll see what it's like with Joe Burrow coming back. Obviously,
as a Giants fan, I understand they're playing competitive games and they're just not winning. So it's insane.
And then rounding out Baltimore, Derrick Henry obviously in play. You're not moving on from King Henry. Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's back. He's your play of the week. So you're cool just locking him right back into your starting lineup coming off this injury. I don't hate it. I would have been more hesitant last week had he played to play him. But this week I'm a little more comfortable than I would have been last week playing Joe Burrow. But would you play Daniel Jones? He's got a tough matchup. They're playing Houston on Sunday.
I'd play Joe Burrow. Okay. The way I look at it is last week it would have been a little bit rougher versus they played Cleveland.
New England.
New England. They played New England, which would have been a little bit rougher. New England's defense is pretty good. They have been solid throughout the whole season. That's not a matchup I would have been willing to push. I would have been fine sitting Burrow his first game back on that week. But this week, Thanksgiving prime time versus a division rival in first place. Give me Joe Burrow any day of the week in that kind of matchup. He's literally Joe Cool, bro. He's going to go out there and he's going to look as good as he's ever been.
Yeah, I'm in the boat where I have Burrow in our home league on my IR still. But I also have Daniel Jones.
Start him.
I have Daniel Jones.
Start him.
I have Bo Nix. He's my play of the week, so I'm going to start Bo Nix.
Cut that guy. Yeah. Start Joe
and then
Burrow.
I have
Be a man.
Brissett, who I also think
I have 4 quarterbacks, dude. That's crazy.
Well, Bo was on a bye last week, and Daniel Jones was playing the Chiefs. I didn't like the matchup, so I spot started Brissett. And waivers haven't run yet, so spoiler alert.
Fair enough.
I will not have all 4 of these guys tomorrow. Right now I do. Just roster 4 quarterback, keeping them from everybody else. Pulling a bill.
Hey, sometimes you got to do that, man.
Everyone else in Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, put him back in. You're not going to move on from him. He had his 1-game suspension. He's back. Andre Oshivas at 10 targets last week without Jamar Chase. Now T. Higgins is out. T. Higgins has managed to stay healthy all year, and then he got that fluke concussion. He banged his head pretty good, so tough to see. Who knows if he would have played if it was a regular week and they didn't play on Thursday. But Andre Oshivas back out there. If you picked him up last week, I keep him and play him. I think matchup's good. 10 targets, and Joe Burrow is an upgrade over Joe Flacco. And then keep riding Chase Brown. He's been an RB1 the last 4 weeks. He's finally looking like the guy. We had as our joint fantasy darling, so it is good to see Chase Brown kind of just getting going here and revving up for the Bengals offense.
And on paper, dude, the rest of the season for Chase Brown, it's all green matchups. Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, Arizona.
Yeah, he was a great trade for candidate if you went and got him before your deadline ran out.
Yeah, the stretch he is about to go on is going to be really good, and it's probably going to keep him relevant for next fantasy season. I'm not going to lie to you. So I don't think he takes a huge hit going forward next season like he would have if he would have continued playing the way he was.
Mm-hmm. Who you got here? You're gonna pick
Cincinnati.
the Bengals.
I'm picking Cincinnati.
I'm picking Baltimore.
That's fine. This is it. If Cincinnati wins this game on Thanksgiving, they're making the playoffs. It's not even a question in my eyes.
Wow. Making the playoffs. Hey, you're not going to hear me complain, though that would save Zach Taylor's job, and I kind of hate that guy.
If they win this game, they're 4-8. Baltimore falls to 6-6. That's only 2 games out of first place, and they play Baltimore again in 2 weeks. So I love that, dude. And give me Joe. Just give me Joe Burrow, bro. I love Joe Burrow.
I love it. Hey, you're not gonna. I love the Bengals, but I'm just trying to not let the Bengals, who are probably my number 2 team, my love for them, kind of overtake how I feel. I think Baltimore is going to get hot and go on a run here. Friday night we got a Black Friday game on Amazon Prime. A nice 3 p.m. start time on Friday. The Chicago Bears travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles are 7-point home favorites, over under at 44.5. The Bears, on paper, great record. They're playing better football. I'm kind of surprised, though, to see that they're a touchdown underdog here against Philadelphia on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Bears offense, I don't love anyone against the Eagles defense.
The Eagles defense
DeAndre
got
Swift
really
was outplayed
hurt.
and outcarried by Kyle Monungai last week.
I'm more so hyping up the Bears receivers in this game. The Eagles secondary got a little bit banged up versus Dallas. A couple of them dropped, and I don't know if they're going to end up playing on Friday on the short week.
Blankenship will probably be playing. Makuba is probably out.
Okay.
Yeah. But either way, Blankenship's I think it's like a quad injury that could act up at any moment. But Roman Dunze, it's been real touch and go lately. DJ Moore had a great game against
You shut up.
Pittsburgh.
I knew you were going to say that.
He did. He did. You can't deny it.
I know. He was,
so we got to bring him up. But
I'm literally watching.
I'm not comfortable playing him against Philly.
I'm watching football last week, and TJ Moore had that huge touchdown, and I just turned to the person next to me, and I'm like, God damn it. And they're like, what? And I'm like, TJ loves that guy, and he's going to bring his name up on the podcast, and now I have to sit here. And then he scored again, and I'm like, oh, my God, dude. I cannot handle this right now.
I benched him in a league that I've been starting him all year, and I picked up Andre Yoshivas and started him. And the difference between them, I would have won had I started DJ Moore.
Fantasy football is dumb.
I love DJ Moore. Be thankful we're not doing our usual Tuesday episode, because he would have been in the Players of the Week. Strong boy.
Yeah,
but
I know.
Like I don't love any of the Bears here. Like I think the matchups are tough. Like Colston Loveland has been playing a lot more. He was a top 5 tight end this past week, but Eagles haven't really been giving it up to the tight end. Rome Odunze has been inconsistent, so is DJ Moore, and DeAndre Swift is now potentially on the verge of losing his job to Kyle Monungai on defense you can't run on. Like, I'm kind of out on the Bears. If I had to play one of them, it's Rome Odunze. He's the best player on this offense.
Yeah, I'm cool playing Rome. DJ Moore, I'm probably double flexing if I had the option. I'm kind of out. I'm starting Colston Loveland. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd be fine with that. The running game is definitely a little bit rough as well. I kind of agree.
I'm not messing around with Monungai and Swift. And on the Philadelphia side, this is a great matchup for Saquon Barkley, who still isn't getting it going. You thought he was gonna. You predicted a big game against Dallas, and he was like 10 for 30 or something like that. It continues to be a struggle for him on paper. This is a great matchup, and obviously you're not going to pull Barkley out of your lineup unless you're in the finals of a guillotine league. Shout out if you are. I am.
You put me on the spot. I don't even know if I'm still in that league.
But A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, again, 2 guys, like the Bears secondary has been better, but you can pass on them. But the inconsistency of the Eagles offense, like this game could really be a dud in my eyes, but there's not a lot of like locked and loaded. Like, I'm so comfortable playing these guys. And like Jalen Hurts is probably the guy I'm most comfortable with in this game.
I'm cool with Jalen Hurts, and I'm honestly cool with both receivers being Smith and Brown. I like both of them. And you can't bench Barkley, dude. I get he had 10 for 22 last week, but he saw 8 targets and brought in like 7 of them, dude. So like in a PPR league, he's still kind of like a decent start. And he was on the field for 80% of snaps the last 2 games. I'm starting every Eagle I have except Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. Yeah. Good matchup for Goddard, but too many mouths to feed. The Eagles don't pass enough. And I don't think the Bears offense is going to keep up enough that Dallas Goedert is going to have a heavy workload here. I think Philly wins this game. I think it's going to be lower scoring, but I think more comfortably play your Eagles, less comfortable playing my Bears.
I'm gonna pick Chicago.
Whoa! Have you picked against the Eagles at all?
No, I have not picked against the Eagles. Okay. I don't think all season. I think the struggles continue offensively for Philadelphia, and I think Kevin Patullo gets fired.
Okay, you're in on the Ben Johnson hype train.
I've been in on the Bears, bro, even since going back to the Baltimore game where they were hella underdogs, and I get they got blown out, but I'm just going to keep bringing up that scenario. Like, the Bears are a better football team than people think they are.
They're entering a stretch of tough games here, so this will be interesting to see how this team fares against heavy competition here in this next 3 weeks. Their games are all against winning franchises, so
I expect the score very similar to the Eagles-Cowboys game. I think it's going to be like 21-24, like 17-20. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game.
I agree.
I think the Bears just pull it out, though.
I mean, they have been all year, so I do see your point. The Bears have just been winning these close one-score games all year. They did it last week against Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph, so it could continue here against Philly, but I agree. I think it's going to be a lower-scoring one-possession game. All right, let's get to that Sunday slate, shall we?
Let's get it.
Houston Texans travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts 4.5-point home favorites. Over-under is set at 44.5. Colts coming off the loss here against
Kansas City,
the Chiefs, and they're playing the Houston Texans defense that put Josh Allen in a world of trouble on Thursday last week. They had like 7 or 8 sacks, so it does not fare well for Daniel Jones. And I know K-Dog's going to be listening. He's going to think I'm disrespecting the Colts, but Daniel Jones is nowhere near my lineup this week.
I agree. I agree. I would probably play Jared Goff over him, and we talked about we should sit Jared Goff. So, I think Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren are really the only Colts I'm confidently starting. I'm not going to lie to you.
I agree. Taylor and Warren, keep them in your lineup. They're matchup proof, even though they did struggle against Kansas City. I don't think either of them broke 10 points. But Michael Pittman, double flex, I'm fine with. Like, if I'm going to play a Colts receiver, it's him. I'm not messing around with Alec Pierce or Josh Downs. Then the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans today came out and said C.J. Stroud is still in concussion protocol. So it might be Davis Mills again, who 17-game pace, this 3-game win streak is like 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He's playing good game manager football, and the Texans offense is playing good. Nico Collins is going to be in your lineup. Woody Marks is a fine flex play. Keep an eye on Jaden Higgins. He's been heavily targeted and scored in 3 of the last 4 games, but it's only been on like 4 for 40, 3 for 34, stuff like that. But he should absolutely be rostered if he's on your waiver wire as he continues to get these targets. And then Dalton Schultz, if you're fine with a good floor tight end, he's going to give it to you, but I'd rather shoot for an upside guy like Colston Loveland or, I'm blanking on his name. Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
Gotcha. I didn't know what team you're going with, so I'm like, I don't know where he's going. If all 32 teams are playing, you could not pay me money to start Dalton Schultz. So
he's a top 10 tight end 3 of the last 4 weeks, but it's like, great floor. If you just want 7 points from your tight end, cool. Dalton Schultz your guy, but he does not give you a ton of upside here. But where do you stand on the Houston offense? You the same boat. Nico Collins, lock in, monitor Jaden Higgins, flex in Woody Marks.
Yep, that's pretty spot on. Nico's not in injury report anymore. He's good to go. Higgins, even if you go back, like there was a dud game in between the target games, week 9 versus Denver, but it was versus Denver, so that's like going to happen. But week 8 versus San Fran, 8 targets. Week 10 versus Jacksonville, 7. Week 11 versus Tennessee, 7. Week 12 versus Buffalo, 9. This dude has been so targeted and so involved in this offense. They are making it a statement to get him involved. He is someone to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, and it has been predominantly Davis Mills really targeting him. So if he's out there, I think he is a better play. If it's CJ Stroud, it's I want to see if CJ Stroud and they continue to trend that way with him and Jaden Higgins. But if it's Davis Mills, I think Jaden Higgins is a guy in double flex you could move into your lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
Does it concern you? Like, do you think this is a potential, like, they're just saying CJ Stroud's in concussion protocol because Davis Mills is playing so good and the team's won 3 straight games with him at quarterback?
I don't think it's like I don't think it's like a Kyler Murray situation to where like we're just going to make sure this guy never plays for us again. I honestly think it's like Davis Mills has been playing so well. There is absolutely no reason to rush CJ Stroud into a football game.
Sort of what San Fran did with Mac Jones and Brock Purdy.
Yes, we are 100% going to let this guy heal and get fully healthy. Because as far as I'm concerned, CJ Stroud has not looked the same all season. So maybe he just wasn't ready to play. He wasn't healthy. His head wasn't in it. And they're just like, yo, dude, sit down, relax, take a breath. And when you are ready to play football again, just let us know and you'll be in the game. Obviously, he wants to be out there, but if he's not like in the right headspace or medically cleared to do it, they have absolutely nothing to worry about right now. Davis Mills is playing good.
Yeah. Who are you picking here?
I'm picking Indianapolis, but it's going to be really close, bro. This game is going to be like a 3-point game.
You're
picking Houston. I know you are. Shocking.
I am.
I'm surprised you're not picking Houston and you're like, you're going to win by 20. The Colts are terrible.
I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, like 13-10. I think the Colts sneak it out. Jonathan Taylor, best player on the field, it gets them the win. And then I do think if Davis Mills loses this game, we'll see CJ Stroud next week. But if Davis Mills wins, who knows? We'll see. But I am picking the Colts here. They're almost in a must-win situation because the team we're going to talk about next, the Jacksonville Jaguars, are only a game behind them. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Jags, 6.5-point road favorites, over-under set at 42.5. We'll get Tennessee out of the way because they are the easiest team. I'm cool starting. We're changing it because every week it's been, if I'm playing one Titan, it's Tyjae Spears. I disagree. I think you could double flex Chimere DK. The Jaguars cannot stop the pass.
Oh,
he is the best player on this offense in the receiving game, just in general. And the Tennessee had their best game on Sunday against the Seahawks, despite losing. Cam Ward is the best he's looked all year. Chimere DK is on a record-setting like trend pace with like all the all-purpose yards he's getting because he's their kick returner, punt returner. He's the best return man in the game. He's just so involved that Jacksonville can't stop the pass. So I love DK in this game. Like I almost made him my start of the week, but I'm like, that's too like. This is like I can't have him and Taysom Hill in my plays of the week. So, but I want to get. I think DK is a flex play this week, but he is it for Tennessee. That's it.
I wouldn't play him in a one flex league, but like double flex leagues or like dynasty leagues, stuff like that, like deep leagues, I would play DK just off his special team touchdown and that kind of ability. He's too hit or miss in the receiving game for me, dude. Like, sure, he saw targets this game. The last 3 games before that, I'm pretty sure it's been like 2 targets, 3 targets, like absolutely nothing involved. So, and to be honest, I can't really rely on Cam Ward as of right now.
Your opinion on DK is sort of where I am. Like, I would play him over Xavier Worthy if I had both of them.
Oh, yeah. No. See, I look at Worthy as like a top 32 play this week.
No one else on Tennessee? Pollard, Spears, Cam Ward?
No.
Kudos Cam Ward, though. I would have given him a shout out. He
looked good. He looked good.
Gets a tough Seahawks team, so it was good to see that. maybe he's starting to turn the corner here, more experience, and him and DK getting on the same page and getting this offense potentially moving here. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence has been better for fantasy. He's been all over the place in real football, but he's been like a top 12 quarterback the last like 3 weeks, but still not playing him. It's ETN for me. I think Tootin, if you need a desperation play at running back, is fine. Parker Washington, wide receiver. That's pretty much it for me. If Brian Thomas Jr. is out there, I'd probably still sitting him. I'm not taking the shot on him yet, though the matchup is great. But I think you roll with Parker Washington, ETN stay in that fire, and then Tootin is a desperation play if you need one. If you were like Alvin Kamara owner and you missed out on Devin Neal, you can throw Tootin in your lineup. He'll get you 10 points.
Yeah, how you feel about Tootin, I agree. ETN, full-blown start. Everyone should be starting ETN. Brian Thomas Jr. is slated to make his return this week, so we'll see if it keeps trending that way, but it is trending that he's going to play this week. Jacoby Myers scored a touchdown last week, so I'm probably
I forgot
flexing.
about him. Yeah.
I honestly don't even think we mentioned him last week, to be honest. We kind of just skipped over him.
I thought he was in Vegas purgatory still. Jacoby Myers, I would play him too. I would play Parker Washington over him, just because there's those weeks where Parker Washington just gets 10 targets, and in full PPR, he hauls in 8 of them.
Yeah, I would start Washington over Myers, but I would play both of them over Shamari DK on the other side. I'm not gonna lie.
I would play DK over both of them. I'm in on Shamari DK. I'll dollar bet you DK worthy.
DK worthy? Oh yeah, hell yeah! I thought you were gonna give me one of the Jacksonville receivers. I'm like, no, I don't want any of those guys.
I'll give you worthy. I'll give you your dude Xavier Worthy. I'll take DK. Nice dollar bet. I think Tennessee could pull the upset just because this is a classic game the Jaguars lose. But I'm gonna pick the Jaguars. I'm not gonna bank on the 1-10 Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I've already gone out of the way and picked like Cincinnati and Chicago. I'm gonna pick Jacksonville here.
All right,
done enough upset. So let's go with Jacksonville.
The San Francisco 49ers travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Niners are 4.5-point road favorites. Over under is an ugly 37.5. Shedeur Sanders, start number 2. He looked okay on Sunday. A lot of his negatives that you saw on tape, the backpedaling, holding onto the ball too long, that kind of stuff, they weren't overly prevalent in the game. There were moments, but Cleveland's offense did a good job of like bootlegging him out to kind of avoid that, and the Raiders really didn't get a ton of pressure on him. So we're going to roll with Sanders, despite Kevin Stefanski hating that guy. I don't know if you saw his locker room speech.
Yeah, no, I'm fully in the Kevin Stefanski boat on this one. I would be furious if this guy was my starting quarterback. I get he looked fine. Like, he was literally 11 for 20, dude. Like, he's not it. That's almost 50%.
Yeah. There was touch and go. Like, you can make the case on whatever side. Like, if you're pro Shedeur, you can make the case for him. And if you're negative Shedeur, 100%, you can make the case. Yeah. But he played well enough that he deserves to continue being the starter in my eyes.
He looked better than I thought he was going to look. That I will say.
And that game was better than any game than Dylan Gabriel had. So I think you just keep rolling with Sanders. Though, Jerry, did you see the Jerry Jeudy catch where he had like a deep 40-yard catch? Pathetic. Yep. But the only player I'm playing in Cleveland is Quinshon Judkins. Harold Fannin, the matchup's good, but there's not a ton of upside in the passing game with Shedeur at this moment. And then for San Fran, it's Kittle and McCaffrey locked in. Purdy had a rough go on Monday against the Panthers, 3 interceptions. And now he's got to face Cleveland with Myles Garrett, who's only 5 sacks away from the record, and he's still got 6 games left to play. He is a maniac out there.
I think he's going to get it. I think he's honestly going to break the sack record, bro.
So I'm not playing Purdy. I'll play Kittle. I'll play McCaffrey. Jennings is fine in a flex play. Hopefully he's okay after getting punched in the dick by Trevor Mooring.
I'm cool playing Jennings for sure. You 7 targets, 5 receptions, brought in a touchdown as well. So I'm cool with that. How do you feel about Ricky Pearsall? 2 dud games since coming back.
Ricky Pearsall? I'm out on him.
Yeah. I agree. This week I'm out on Pearsall this week.
Yeah,
I think after the bye, and I know it's going to sound insane because it's playoffs, it's Tennessee, it's Indianapolis, and it's Chicago. I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be like amazing come playoff time.
We'll see. Ricky Pearsall, his good games this year were with no Juwan Jennings, so maybe he just needs to be the guy, and they got to do on him. Brandon Ayuk, we didn't bring this up. They're probably getting rid of him. Well, they're definitely getting rid of him. They're avoiding his contract, the whole stuff, and he doesn't want to be there. So he's giving up $26 million to not be in San Francisco. So they're either going to cut him in the offseason or trade him for a day 3 pick if they're lucky. So we'll see what this room looks like going next year, but it looks like it's going to be Pearsall and Jennings as the guys, which does give you confidence for them going forward. Anyone else you want to talk about here? I think we got them all covered.
Judkins had a really good game with Shedeur. He scored twice on the ground. Wasn't crazy efficient on the ground, but the 2 touchdowns saved him. Way better matchup for San Fran this week. Judkins is honestly probably the only Brown I'm playing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Agreed. He's been using that Wildcat, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue to utilize that with Shedeur.
And just real quick, shout out Christian McCaffrey. Needed them to score 21 points Monday night to beat you in our home league. And of course, McCaffrey came up, baby. He's doing what he does, what I said he was going to do all season, baby. So shout out CMC getting the job done Monday night. Get me that dub. I needed it bad, bro. I'm chasing the playoffs still.
I had a little bit of hope going into halftime when he only had like 12 points. And I'm like, man, could this happen? And then he scored right off the rip. And I'm like, okay.
See, I'm not going to I checked at halftime and I seen he had like 13.8. And in my head, I'm like, he's going and he only needs 7 more points. McCaffrey's got it, baby. That's my dude.
Yeah, he had that on the first drive.
Yeah, dude. I love that guy. I
assume we're both taking San Fran here. I don't think we're seeing a Shedeur going 2-0 to start his career.
No. I picked Vegas last week. You're damn sure I'm picking San Fran this week, bro.
You're not buying into the Shedeur hype?
No.
Nah, I hope he does well. I do. I'm still,
sure. I'm not like wishing he fails, but
more excited for Shedeur Sanders and JJ McCarthy at this point. We'll get to that.
9.
That's a 4:00 game. Yeah. The LA Rams travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Rams are 10.5 point road favorites, over under set at 44.5. So that means the Panthers are going to win this game.
Usually I'm very
Panthers.
pro like the underdog team with like spreads, and I'm like, it should be a little bit closer than that. Even with the Panthers being okay, I honestly think the spread for this game should be like 13.5, bro.
I think the home kind of gives them that edge where it's 10 because you also never know what Panthers team is going to show up, and they seem to be an every other week team, so maybe they do show up this week. But the Rams,
you really know what Rams team is showing
the Rams
up,
are
bro.
the best team in football.
Exactly.
Rams. Matt Stafford is playing incredible football. He's got like 1 interception this year.
He's so good, dude.
Keep playing him. Keep playing Devontae. Keep playing Puka. Keep playing Kyren Williams, and that's it. Move on from LA. Carolina.
Yeah, Matt Stafford has 30 touchdowns, which is the most touchdowns he's had since 2021, which was his first year in LA, I believe, which they won the Super Bowl, and he's only turned the ball over twice. So okay. 30 touchdowns, MVP, 2 interceptions, MVP almost 3,000 yards. Matt Stafford is so good, dude.
Yeah. If I had an MVP vote, I'm giving it to Matt Stafford. That says a lot coming from me because I'm not a Matt Stafford guy.
That's true.
But that you agree with the Rams? Easiest team in fantasy: Puka, Devontae, Kyren, Matt Stafford. They're all in your lineup, and no one else.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much
Carolina.
It.
Carolina plays better football when they give Rico Dowdle the ball, and Rico averaged 6 yards a carry on Monday, but they only gave him 6 carries. So I don't know, but tough matchup for Rico Dowdle. The Rams have been the absolute best team against the run in fantasy. So where do you stand on Rico?
Well, I'm still cool with Rico because Chuba Hubbard only saw 3 carries. So Rico saw double the carries Chuba did. It's just that the running game was not implemented at all last week. So I really do think Carolina knows that they are a better team when they are running the ball with Rico Dowdle, and that's how they succeed. I think they're really going to try their damnedest to get Rico involved any way possible, even if it's through the passing game this week.
And then Teterow McMillan, you're going to continue rolling with him. He's been
for
pretty good for Carolina. And that's it for them. I'm not spot starting Bryce Young with a full slate of games, and I'm not messing around with any of the other receivers on this team.
Yeah, I'm really only starting Rico, and you kind of have to watch out. But off the heels of that bad game, I really do think Carolina implements him more, and I'm not going to bench Teterow McMillan.
Yeah, but those two could be in line for disappointments just based on how good the Rams are. So temper your expectations with them. I think we're both taking the Rams here. Easy win for LA.
Yeah, I really think the Rams get this one done easily.
All right. Moving on. The New Orleans Saints travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are 6-point home favorites. Over-under set at 41.5. Miami opened up the Darren Waller practice window. If he's out there, I'm still not playing him. I don't think he will be, but keep an eye on it. If he's out there on your waivers, he might be worth picking up because when he was out there, heavily involved in this offense, they could use him because it's really just Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane for this team and no one else.
Yeah, we're just kind of rolling through some teams that just don't have many options. Like Devon Achane, lock him in. Jalen Waddle, lock him in. That's pretty much it. I mean, Malik Washington, you could kind of like look at if you need a guy. He's like a poor man's Shamiri DK. Like he's involved in the receiving game. He's involved in their special teams. He's had a couple decent games since week 6, since Tyreek went down. I think it was like week 5 or 6. Tyreek got hurt, maybe a little bit before that. But Malik Washington is a guy that you could play in like double flex leagues, dynasty leagues if you need a guy just safe floor. Like I think every week since week 5, he's had at least 8 or more points. So he's got a decent floor.
It does give you a floor, and he is a big play upside as well. I loved Malik Washington coming out of Virginia. Would you play him or Kayshon Boutte if you were desperate for a play? Boutte didn't do much last week, but first game off an injury, was on the field a ton, did see a red zone target that he turned into a PI, but he only had like 2 catches.
I would probably play Malik Washington because I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at his full season stats.
Okay.
His lowest outcome on the whole season is 7.3 points in full point PPR. So he's gone over 7 points every single week since like week 1 through 12. He has scored at least 7 points.
All right. You love to see it. I would still go Boutte just because they're playing the Giants, and the Giants defense can't stop anyone in the passing game.
Can't stop what? Where was Jameson Williams last week, TJ? Goosed.
Okay.
Goosed. Giants defense.
You stopped one guy.
Hey,
what'd you do?
We stopped that whole team for 3 quarters, okay?
Jahmyr Gibbs had like 240 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, he was Jahmyr Gibbs, guys. Dude, it happens. Yeah. It's also I cannot wait to get to the Giants. I cannot wait to get to the Giants game.
You're the main event. You guys play on Monday.
I'm going in. That
dumb fucking owner. I can't wait to get to the Vikings.
Dumb fucking owner we have. Oh God, I'm calling for his head.
Let's talk about the Saints. Chris Olave, lock him in. He's been good. Juwan Johnson, Dolphins can't stop tight ends. You could play him as well. Just keep riding him. How do you feel about Devin Neal?
Hey, yo.
Alvin Kamara's probably not playing.
I'm sorry, you took me out with that statement you just said. Hey, yo, bro.
Pause.
What?
Devin Neal. How do you feel about Neal?
Asked me, bro.
I said, how do you feel about Devin Neal without
Devin Neal?
Alvin Kamara
I'm cool with Devin Neal. I like him a lot coming out of college. Yeah, I think he's going to be a decent little flex guy going forward without Kamara. So you could play him if you need him.
Man, would have loved to see Kendre Miller in this role, but dude can't stay healthy. Shame. Taysom Hill?
I agree. I really like Devin Neal coming out of college, bro. I hope the guy shines.
Yeah, I agree.
Taysom Hill,
you messing around with Taysom Hill like I am?
Not like you are. He is literally the opposite of.
It's a running back.
I was going to say
tight end.
He is the actual opposite of Malik Washington. He has not scored over 7 points all season.
He's only like played half the year. Yeah.
Week 5 he came back. So since week 5 to 12, he's scored at least 6 points. There's that.
They're ramping him up. They're ramping him up.
Hey, man, the Dolphins did that with Darren Waller for 8 weeks, and it worked out well.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. And no Alvin Kamara. And I'm just piggybacking off Taysom Hill, just back-to-back weeks with the Saint. No one else? You're not messing around with Tyler Shuck. Full week of quarterbacks now.
No.
If it's 2 QB league, sure.
No. I'm not even messing around with Tua on the other side.
No, me either. Who wins here?
I think the Saints are going to play really hard like they have all season, but it was stopping. I'm still picking Miami.
Okay. I thought you were going to go surprise, pick the Saints. I'm also picking the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, this team's playing for his job, and he notoriously beats bad teams, so that's the Saints. So this should be a win for Mike McDaniel and crew. The Arizona Cardinals travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. The Bucs are 3-point home favorites, over-under set at 44.5. Baker Mayfield, it looked like he destroyed his shoulder against the Rams on that stupid Hail Mary play, but it was just an AC sprain on his non-throwing shoulder. So there is a chance he is out there on Sunday. If he's not, the Cardinals' defense is a sneaky good play, but if Baker is out there, you playing him still?
Probably not with the 32 teams all going. I think you could find a way to pivot out of Baker this week. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Bridgewater, their backup.
Teddy Bridgewater is their backup quarterback. Love to see it. I love that guy.
They got a decent backup, bro. I don't know if there's a real need. I think they'd be fine if Baker wasn't out there.
Yeah. And the Cardinals cannot stop the run if their life depended on it. So Bucky Irving's probably going to be back. You imagine they're going to do a split, though. Sean Tucker will be involved. I think if Bucky's out there, you play him. I think Sean Tucker is a fine, second flex, especially Baker's not out there. Yeah. Buka, it's tough to move on from him out of your lineup. So he's the only pass catcher I'd play for Tampa Bay, with or without Baker.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
And in Arizona, Jacoby Brissett, he's probably a good replacement for Baker if he's probably out there. He's only owned in 50% of leagues. So if you have Baker, I love the pivot to Jacoby Brissett. He's been a top QB1 every week since he's been in there for Arizona. So I think he's in line still for that. Marvin Harrison's probably going to be back this week. Do you go to him, or do you still ride with Michael Wilson?
I think you theoretically have to still ride with Michael Wilson regardless if Marv's out there. Back-to-back 100-yard games, 10 catches in both games.
25 catches in 2 games.
Yeah, it's insane what he's been doing these last 2 games. I think you have to roll with Michael Wilson regardless. And even Greg Dortch, bro, both games without Marv, he went 6 catches for pretty much 50 yards, 60 yards, and scored a touchdown in both games.
It gives you hope for Marvin Harrison coming back. Yeah. Yeah, Marvin Harrison, third best receiver on this team.
Trey
McBride.
I was going to say I would play Marv. I would play Marv in a flex spot if I had to. Same spot I would play Michael Wilson. Greg Dortch, I would probably try to pivot out of because Marv being back. I don't think he's going to see the 9 targets he saw last week.
Yeah, be the fourth option in the passing game because Trey McBride's still there. And honestly, as long as Trey McBride's out there, I'm in on Jacoby Brissett, and I'm in on this offense right now. So keep locking in Trey McBride. Trey Benson's probably going to be back this week. You playing him? Tough matchup. Tough to run on the Bucs.
No, I'm not playing him his first game back, but he's definitely someone to watch out for.
Yeah, he's going to have the workload. Bam Knight got hurt as well, so this is probably, we'll see what Michael Carter's involvement is, but you could put him in second flex, but I would try not to play him. I would play Sean Tucker over him on the other side.
For sure.
With or without Bucky.
Yeah, I would play Tucker over him for sure.
Who you going with here, Tampa or Arizona?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
I'm also going to pick the Bucs. They're due for a win here, and Arizona's the perfect team to do so. The Atlanta Falcons travel to New York to take on the Jets. 2.5-point road favorite. The Atlanta Falcons are.
We
Over
just
under set at
skip this
39
game.
and a half. Play Bijan. If Drake London's out there, you play him. If he's not, Darnell Mooney is a fine second flex. He did okay. He finally produced a game this season, and Kirk Cousins is the quarterback, so obviously Darnell Mooney is viable, and then you can mess around with Kyle Pitts, but really not confident in that one. But really, it would just be Mooney if London's not out there, and Bijan, and that's it for me for Atlanta.
From what all the reports are, is that Atlanta might be very cautious with Drake London. So I honestly expect him not to be out there this week because of their loss last week. There's just a chance they kind of just like shut him down going forward. Because I believe if they lose, they're almost eliminated from the playoffs. So I don't know. Drake London could probably get shut down pretty soon if things do not go well for Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have him out there. There's no reason to risk injury, like further injury.
Agree.
Am I playing
you playing Mooney then? Mooney, if London's not out there?
Yeah, he had the touchdown last week, which was nice, but he only saw the 3 targets, which was a dip from the 2 weeks prior. He saw 8 and then 7 and then 3 last week. I sure you can play him. Double flex, maybe flex, but double flex. I wouldn't single flex him.
Him or John Mechie on the other side.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of disgusting.
Jets number one receiver, John Mechie.
I would probably lean John Mechie. He's off the last week or 2 weeks ago, he saw the touchdown only on 3 targets, but then again this week he saw 7 targets, brought in 6, and he scored a touchdown. I would probably play Mechie over Darnell Mooney.
Okay. So then for you, it's really just Bijan for Atlanta, and maybe Kyle Pitts. I don't know where you stand on Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, you can. Oh God, he hasn't gone double digits since week 8. It's been really rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. With all 32 teams playing, I'd probably try to find someone else, but I don't know. It's rough. It's kind of hard at this point. I'm not gonna lie.
Jets, Breece Hall is the only Jet you play with confidence. I think Mechie is in the same boat as Darnell Mooney, especially if Tyrod's out there, competent quarterback. Adonai Mitchell saw 8 targets.
If Justin Fields is out there, I'm not starting any of these Jets.
No, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Tyrod's there, so you could play John Mechie. Adonai Mitchell saw 8 targets, but he only brought in like 2 of them, so I guess monitor his usage, but you're not playing him. I actually think the Jets win this game.
Goodness, hold on. Sleeper kind of just kicked me out of our pick'ems for our little weekly here. God, where the hell is this game? Hey, I also have the Jets clicked off. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, we're both going to Jets. Oh, that means they're losing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I'm gonna switch to Atlanta right here.
All right, here we go. The Minnesota Vikings travel to Seattle.
Yeah, this is you. Have at
on
it.
The Seahawks. The Vikings are 10, or the Seahawks are 10.5 point road favorites or home favorites. Over under set at 41.5. JJ McCarthy is in concussion protocol. I don't think he's going to be out there, which means undrafted free agent Minnesota Golden Gopher Max Brosmer is going to be the Vikings starting quarterback. And honestly, with him back there, I think you could have the same amount, if not maybe a little bit more, confidence in playing Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I don't think it changes how you feel about those two guys.
I'm benching Jordan Addison regardless.
Yes,
I'm not going to lie to you.
But I think Brosmer gives you the same upside with Addison, maybe a little bit more than McCarthy, who could hit Jordan Addison if his life depended on it at this point.
I think I'm more confident in Justin Jefferson. I'm not confident in Addison, though. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It could be JJ, it could be Brosmer. I'm not starting Addison whatsoever this week. But if Brosmer's out there, I could see him hyper-targeting Justin Jefferson, as he should. I'm not going to lie to you.
How much trouble are the Vikings in if Max Brosmer comes out here and looks good?
JJ McCarthy has looked like JJ McCarthy. That's all I will say.
He has looked worse than Jay.
Sure.
I didn't think he could be this bad. Like, he is historically bad. Like, Jamarcus Russell bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's obviously not all on him. Christian Darisol's been out. He missed some of the game on Sunday. So did Donovan Jackson. He was pressured on almost 50% of his snaps on Sunday against the Packers. But, like, throughout the year, like, I don't think he's put a game together where he's looked as good as Shedeur Sanders looked, in my eyes, against
I disagree. I think week one on that comeback, he looked better than Shedeur.
Full game. That was a quarter. That quarter, yes, looked better than Shedeur's whole game on Sunday. But full game, J.J. McCarthy was horrible quarters 1 through 3 and half.
I get that, but he still almost had like the same completion percentage. He had one more passing touchdown. He had one more rushing touchdown. He had 3 total touchdowns. I would take JJ over Shedeur in a heartbeat.
I don't know, but it is not looking great in Minnesota. And obviously, JJ McCarthy's still technically a rookie. He hasn't played a ton, but now he's had the injury last year, the ankle injury this year, now a concussion. He's not staying healthy. I think he will be the quarterback next year, but it wouldn't surprise me if Minnesota goes out and gets a Jameis Winston or a Mac Jones if he's available.
Hey, you don't even try to touch my Jameis Winston. If the Giants don't sign that guy to a lifelong contract to be our backup, I will riot.
There will be a veteran presence there. I mean, unless Max Brosmer looks great here against a great Seattle defense, then maybe they have confidence with him going forward. But 2027's draft class should theoretically be good on paper for quarterbacks. I think the Vikings would then replace J.J. McCarthy in that draft. But the clock is ticking on how long this guy will be out there. It is. It almost feels like Kevin O'Connell doesn't want him as the quarterback.
I mean, your offense is struggling tremendously, and your offense has never struggled with Kevin O'Connell. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. You guys are still out there producing a high-level fantasy option.
Have been veterans, though, and have played a good amount of football. A rookie's never, or a first-year guy has never come in and played in this offense. It's always been Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, guys with playing experience.
Yeah, I get that.
So we'll see. Max Brosmer is the test. He's a rookie. So
yeah, for sure.
Like, even Carson Wentz at times looked viable. And as much as I hated watching Carson Wentz play football, he played much better than J.J. McCarthy's been for Minnesota this year. But I'm trying not to lose patience with McCarthy. I know he hasn't played a ton of football, but if it's not it next year, they need to move on and just get ahead of the game. Seattle, Sam Darnold, it's been fine. Minnesota said they're going to pressure him, which is the key to beating him. And Minnesota would know that. They had him last year. Jackson Smith and Jigba is on track for 2,000 yards receiving. You're keeping him in your lineup. Ken Walker's a fine flex play. Zach Charbonnet's a double flex play. I'm not messing around with the other receivers in Seattle. I think Seattle wins this game. I think they win it handily. I think they cover this 10.5. I think it's going to be a rough showing for Minnesota. I just hope Max Brosmer looks okay enough that he can keep being the backup quarterback. Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson are the only Vikings I'm playing, like, locking in. Addison's on my bench. Hawkinson not even on my roster.
Not even locking in. Those are the only 2 Vikings I'm playing regardless. Like, I'm not playing Jordan Addison. You could not talk me into that. I'm not playing Hawkinson. I'm not starting Jordan Mason. I'm not starting at whatever quarterback you guys are fielding.
Yeah.
It's just those 2 guys.
Do you play Shaheed for Seattle?
Not confidently.
Okay. Him or Jordan Addison?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm in this boat.
In what world?
Ziffle.
Why? There's people in free agents. There has to be. That's insane. Neither of those guys. If I had to pick one of them, I'm picking Shaheed. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's who's in my lineup. And then you're fine. Ken Walker is a flex play, low end RB2. Zach Charbonnet, low end flex, double flex.
Yeah, sure.
AJ Barner, Minnesota's been bad against tight ends lately.
Probably not. Too inconsistent, especially with all 32 teams going. I maybe play him. He's in my Kyle Pitts boat.
Okay. You picking Seattle?
Yes.
Okay, me too. Las Vegas Raiders travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers 10-point home favorites. Over-unders 41.5. Chip Kelly got fired. I don't think that's going to fix the Raiders offense. Ashton Janty is hurt, so we'll see if he goes. Pete Carroll was pretty ho-hum about it. He said, oh yeah, he could play, but we'll have to see how bad his injury is. Thanks, bud. Can you
Classic
play anyone?
Old head comment, by the way.
Like, is Raheem Mostert startable if Janty's not out there?
No.
So
nope.
Vegas, it's Brock Bowers. No one else. You mess around with Trey Tucker.
God, I mean, I guess you can. He saw 8 targets 2 weeks ago. He saw 10 targets last week. He only brought in 3 of them. But like Gino is hyper targeting this guy at this point. I'm cool double flexing Trey Tucker in the leagues.
Trey Tucker or Chargers receivers that aren't Lad McConkey. So Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen.
Probably Tucker just based off of targets and like quantity of work. To where Quentin Johnson
he's pretty much the same as Quentin Johnson. He just gets more targets in my eyes. So I'll just take the guy getting the known targets. But Keenan Allen hasn't gone double digits since week 7 when he had that Mondo 11 for 119 in a tutty game. And since then, his most targets is 5. So. I think you can move on from Keenan Allen rostering him just because Aronde Gadsden is stepping up. Quentin Johnson's been involved off and on, and Lad McConkey is taking over as the alpha here. Justin Herbert, I think he's in the QB1 range. You could play him. Lad McConkey, your play of the week. I think that's a great call. He's probably a low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2. Quentin Johnston, you could throw into your flex. Aronde Gadsden, I think, kind of teeters around tight end 12 to 16. A little bit more upside than like Kyle Pitts in them.
Yeah, no, I'd have Orlando Gasson way over Kyle Pitts and all those guys.
Yeah, he's the upside. Like his upside's better than Pitts, Schultz. That's what you're getting. But he could easily dud, whereas those guys probably don't get less than 7. But I'm gonna shoot the upside at tight end. If Amari Hampton plays, are you putting him right back in your lineup?
No. Because I think they're going to work him back in. I don't think he comes back in immediately, even with Kamani Abedel being questionable.
They haven't even opened his window as of the recording, so I don't even think he's out there. And if he is, I agree with you. I think
they opened his window.
Oh, okay.
They opened his practice window got open today.
Oh, okay. I hadn't watched any reports since this morning, so the West Coast, I would have missed that. But yeah, I agree with you. If he's out there, I think they're going to ease him in. I'm not playing any Chargers running back in this game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm really only playing like Ladd and Gadsden and Herbert. Those 3 guys are like the only Chargers I'm confident in. Quentin Johnson then would be next man up.
Agree. Chargers win. I don't think there's any way the Raiders pull this off. Yeah.
I want to say
Bills
never
on the road.
It's a division game. It's a division game. Division games are always kind of hard, but the Chargers are definitely in line to win this game.
Yeah, like I said, when you plays the week, they've had that sour taste of getting blown out. That I can't see them losing this game. Buffalo, they're on the road. They travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. The Bills are 3.5-point road favorites. Over under set at 47.5. Buffalo has been really bad on the road. They are struggling outside of Buffalo, so it is concerning. Their last 2 or 3 road games, their offense has been completely inept, and Josh Allen has been borderline unplayable on the road in that stretch. Pittsburgh has been bad at stopping quarterbacks, and obviously not going to bench Josh Allen, but this will be the true test for Buffalo going on the road where they haven't been good against a Pittsburgh team that's just okay. Khalil Shakir, I think he's a flex play this week. Yeah, he was the guy against Houston. He had all the yards. He had like 100 yards. So against Pittsburgh, good matchup. You could play him. Obviously, you're keeping James Cook in your lineup. Josh Allen's not moving even with the struggles on the road, and that's it for Buffalo. Dalton Kincaid is probably not playing, so I'm not messing around with another pass catcher in Buffalo.
Kincaid's improving towards week 13, but I still wouldn't play him even if he is out there. Shakir, I'm playing in a flex spot. Cook, I'm not benching. Allen, I would never bench in any type of lifetime.
Pittsburgh, they're
What?
Optimistic. There we go.
Optimistic? Is that the word we're going for?
Had a little stroke live on the podcast. They're optimistic that Aaron Rodgers is out there. Offense looked okay with Mason Rudolph. DK Metcalf got in the end zone. How do you feel about DK against Buffalo here this week, with or without? Like, are you more comfortable with him and Mason Rudolph than you are Aaron Rodgers?
He's still seeing like the same amount of targets. He saw 8 targets with Rudolph. He saw 8 targets with Rodgers back-to-back weeks. He still brought in 5 catches in both of those games. His touchdown with Mason Rudolph was a rushing touchdown. It wasn't even a receiving touchdown. It's just use this guy properly, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting in a bedroom. You're sitting in a bedroom. I'm talking to an iPad, and I could tell you how to use DK Metcalf better than bum-ass Arthur Smith, bro. Like, it's not rocket science, bro. DK Metcalf is 6'4", 230 pounds. There is no cornerback that can one-on-one cover DK Metcalf down the field.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen, bro. And then you have Rodgers, who doesn't throw the prettiest deep ball anymore, but it's still better than 60-70% of the NFL. Put them together. Make it work.
I don't know why they're not taking more shots.
It's right there, bro. It's insane, dude. Like, do you know how the Rams are using Devontae Adams around the goal line? There's no reason DK Metcalf is not getting those exact same targets. 1-yard touchdowns, 2-yard touchdowns. What are Devontae Adams' last 8 touchdowns? They've been all less than 4 yards. Fuck Kenny Gainwell, bro. Fuck the Steelers, bro. You're paying him $150 million to not use him?
Yeah, I would love them to get a play caller in there who wants to stretch the field, not Arthur Smith. But Arthur Smith is there, so Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell are in play. Buffalo cannot stop a running back of their life. Depends on it. Kenny Gainwell has been good when he gets out there. The minimal touches he gets, he's involved in the passing game. I think he is a flex play. And Jalen Warren, you still roll with him. He's a high-end RB2 in my eyes against a Buffalo defense, like I said, that can't stop the run.
Yeah, I'm playing both Steelers running backs this week, and I'm playing DK Metcalf. They're the only 3 Steelers I'm willing to play.
Yep. Buffalo bounce back? They get that road win?
Yeah. On paper, they should, but who knows with how Buffalo shows up, dude.
The Denver Broncos travel to Washington, Sunday Night Football. Broncos are 6.5-point road favorites, over under set at 43.5. You obviously know we're in on the Broncos. We had 3 of them in our plays of the week. And then Troy Franklin, the receiver who we didn't bring up in that segment, I think he is a flex play this week for Denver. The only Broncos really part of the passing game I'm out on as a starter is Evan Ingram. He's just not involved in this offense whatsoever.
Yeah, Evan Ingram is the only guy from Denver I'm not playing. I'm playing Bo Nix. I'm playing RJ Harvey. I'm playing Courtland Sutton. I'm playing Troy Franklin. I'm happily playing all of those guys.
Yeah, and you like Franklin more than Sutton this week, yeah?
I do. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then obviously RJ Harvey. This is his backfield now. Hopefully that continues to grow his percentage, whatnot. But great match against Washington. Jaden Daniels is practicing. I don't think he's playing this game.
I don't think he's going to be out there.
Shouldn't be playing at all. Like, he shouldn't play for the rest of the year. I don't know why Washington would even put him out there, but so be it. Are there any Commanders you're playing? Like, Denver's defense is really good. Like, Chris Rodriguez, this is his backfield. Not a great matchup, so I don't love playing him. And then Deebo Samuel has been too inconsistent with Mariota. Like, if I'm going to play someone from Washington, it's going to be Deebo, but I hold him as like a low-end flex guy.
Yeah, he would be like a low end flex 1 or high end flex 2. Rodriguez with the matchup, I'm probably out, but again, he's like a flex 2 kind of guy. Terry McLaurin, if he's active, is a flex 2 kind of guy, but I would start Debo over McLaurin. Zach Ertz is in the same boat as Kyle Pitts and Dalton Kincaid and all of those kind of low end tight ends that I'm probably really not playing.
He's in that good floor tight end boat. Terry McLaurin was back at practice, so
yeah, he could come back. But he could return.
I don't like playing anybody on Washington, but I would roster Chris Rodriguez if he's out there. Go pick him up because this is clearly his backfield. But this game, I'm not messing around with him. I think Denver wins this game handedly.
Yep, I agree. I think Denver really shows up.
All right, here's your time to shine. Monday Night Football, the New York Giants travel to New England to take on the Patriots. Pats are 7-point home favorites. Over-under is 46.5. The Giants fired their defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen. So I'm sure that makes you thrilled to death.
It does. That's the move that should have happened because it's insane that we're literally having the same exact outcomes after we fired Brian Daboll. We should have beat Chicago. We should have beat all of these teams, and we still just keep blowing leads. Like, it doesn't make sense. Green Bay, we blew the lead. Detroit, we blew the lead. The exact same script is happening. We are winning games up until we cannot close out games because our shitty fucking defensive coordinator doesn't know how to stop anything. And thank God our dumbass fucking owner seen that as the problem because it's not Brian Daboll. It's not the head coach. It doesn't matter who the head coach of the team is. That was not the problem to begin with. The problem was our defense, and our defense could not stop a thing. And yet we fired Brian Daboll for no goddamn reason, and now we're stuck without him, and we're still having the exact same outcome every single week.
Yeah,
he was not the issue.
Yeah, the offense hasn't lost a beat without, like, Mike Kafka's done a wonderful job as
a great job.
Head coach and
there's
running
nothing
the
to do with Mike Kafka right now. It's 100%.
So Giants offensively, they're in play. Tyrone Tracy's been an RB1 the last 2 weeks under Mike Kafka. Tough matchup against New England. They've shut down running backs all year. Sans Chase Brown, he was the first running back to break 60 yards rushing against this team. But Tyrone Tracy's also seeing 6, 7, 8 targets. There we go, 6, 7 for him over here. In the passing game, so he's in play. I think he is a mid to high end RB2. I'm not messing around with Devin Singletary, even though he's involved. Like, I would play Charbonnet over him. I agree. But I would hold him easily in the same boat, a double flex guy if you had to play a running back. Like, I would play him over Trey Benson just because he's been involved here the last few weeks. And
I would play him over, like, Pacheco.
Yeah.
I'd play him over Pacheco.
He's a low-end double flex guy, but I'm not, like, forcing him into my lineup. Wan'Dale Robinson was great against the Lions. I also benched him in a handful of leagues. So you could plug him in. It's probably going to be Jackson Dart, Monday night prime time. I think he's a fine play as well.
If Jackson Dart is on the field, he has to be in, like, your thought process to start if you have him. He has been a top 15 quarterback every single game he's started. He is a literal borderline QB1 every single week. And that's based on the rushing upside. Like, if he plays, there's a good chance he has 30, 40 yards. Exactly. 30, 40 yards locked in, and most likely even a rushing touchdown, dude.
How do you feel about Jameis saying he wants to be the backup tight end just to help the team if they need him? Did you hear that?
His receiving touchdown was so fun, bro. Like, it was on a line, and he juked out a guy, he made him miss, and then he scored. Dude, I was eating it up. Like,
it was fun.
I do not care that we did not beat Detroit. Yeah, we dropped the ball. We should have beat them, but we should have won all of these games. So, like, it's not our offense, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Dart's cooking. Winston's been cooking. The running game under.
Offensively, you guys are fun, which is never the case. The Giants are always just a bad offense, good defense, and now the players are there on defense. It's just coaching in my eyes. So we'll see whoever steps up here as defensive coordinator if it continues to be an issue. But New England, the Giants, you can't stop the pass. So Diggs, I think Booty's in line as I think he's a good flex play. Diggs, I think, is a wide receiver too. Hunter Henry, kind of the same boat. He's probably closer to like a Rondé Gadsden than he is to like Zach Ertz, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz, and those guys. So he's in play. And then Travion Henderson, Drake May, you continue rolling with those dudes.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you said is spot on. I absolutely ate this up. They gave Ramondre the ball 3 straight times on the goal line, and that dude got stuffed every single time. Fuck Mike Vrabel and his little, Travion Henderson helped us out. Well, so has Ramondre. He's helped us out. Fuck that bullshit, bro. I'm so mad at both of these teams, and I'm not even a Travion Henderson guy, bro. Like, that's your guy. Twitter loved this dude coming out. I'm a Judkins guy through and through. Travion Henderson has been amazing the last 2 weeks. Ramondre Stevens wishes he could be half the talented running back that Travion Henderson is, bro. They're not even in the same atmosphere on like pure football level skill. Travion Henderson should be in line for a Jahmyr Gibbs type game this week versus the Giants. And Mike Vrabel's so fucking dumb, it's not going to happen, dude.
Not dumb. He's a great coach. He is a smart coach.
He's a phenomenal coach, but you have this golden goose sitting in front of you. And he's like, he's a rookie. He's got to earn his... No, Ramondre's just dog shit, bro. Get that dude off the field.
Next week.
He's gone.
I think after that bye,
I agree.
It is Travion Henderson's backfield, and Ramondre's only out there for 20% of snaps.
I'm too sick to be this angry. I'm freaking lightheaded, bro.
Who wins Monday night? Do you guys pull it together? Get the win?
No. I would only assume we're going to be winning for most of this game, if not half of it. And then
new defensive coordinator. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah. Do you guys?
It's not going to be fun. What's the spread?
7, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it's hard to blow a full 7-point lead. So we'll blow a 3-point lead. They'll fucking lose by 4.
I think we're looking at a 31-30 game here on Monday night. It's gonna be fun.
I hope so, dude. As long as the offense keeps looking good and our defense actually is able to stop some stuff, I'll be happy, bro. As long as the running back doesn't put up 260 all-purpose yards on us, or whatever the hell Gibbs had, I'll be happy. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Incredible. All right,
there
we go.
Literally had like 60 points in our home week. I'm pretty confident he had like 60 fantasy points, which is insane, bro.
He had like 50 points at half PPR. It was an insane performance. It was the highest performance of the year, and that's what you expect. Like those are the games Jahmyr Gibbs can give you.
Yep.
And that's what makes him so dangerous for fantasy. He could be a league winner any drop of a hat. Do that. That's not surprising.
Yeah, like Bijan's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but like he can't go on and have a game like that. Like Bijan will probably in his career never have a game like Gibbs just had last week.
Yeah. It was insane. Like there aren't many backs who could do what Jahmyr Gibbs did on Sunday. There's maybe like 3 or 4. No,
like again with the Bijan thing, like Bijan he's an amazing running back. Do not take any of this as slander, but he can't break off like 80, 90-yard runs at a drop of a hat. Any given carry Gibbs has the potential to go to the house. Every single touch of the ball. He's such a good athlete, bro.
Yeah. All right, that's the Drafted Up podcast. Happy holidays. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, enjoy the good food. Throw down in the comments your plays of the week.
Quick. Off the cuff. Top 3 Thanksgiving traditional foods. Go.
I love turkey, so I will pick turkey 10 out of 10 times.
White meat or dark meat
for Thanksgiving? Dark meat. Oh,
I agree. White turkey, white meat turkey, not for me. Dark meat turkey, bro.
It's good if it's cooked right, but it's a little more tricky. Dark meat's always got all the juice. You don't need the gravy. Turkey. I'm not a big stuffing guy, so give me mashed potatoes. And I'm going to go Southern here. Homemade mac and cheese.
I agree. I think I would take ham over turkey. I would take mac and cheese over mashed potatoes. I'm going to throw out a little bit of green bean casserole. I'm not going to lie. That's the white in me coming out. Give me some nice green bean casserole, baby.
I used to love green bean casserole. Then one Thanksgiving, I ate it and I got sick, and that's all that threw up. That's all that came up was the green bean. Now it's just like all I taste, and I hate it. Like, I love green bean casserole. That would have been my pick. That would have been my third.
The little crunchy bits on the top really help out my tism.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Put in the comments your favorite Thanksgiving foods if you celebrate. We'd love to hear it. And also your plays of the week, guys, you're confident in starting. If you disagree with us, throw it out there as well. We appreciate all that. And of course, like, rate, subscribe, review, turn your notifications on so you know when the episodes are coming up, all that good stuff. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Be safe.
Have a good holiday. Bye.
Get those dubs. Get to the playoffs.
Playoff push.